People stay stuck at $500 events in this industry for way longer than they need to because they don't understand that they actually have the ability to charge more, and for a multitude of reasons too. On one hand, people are charging like, oh, I'm your backyard bartender. I'm just going to go to your event and bartend. I'll bring some bar tools. And that is not a business. That is someone trying to do this as a side gig. So if you're already running, you're already working 40 hours a week for somebody else, and then you're like, oh, I need to make some money on the side. That's how you're gonna price. Is like, okay, yeah, sure, $500. Like, I'll just show up with some bar tools. Like, this is just some extra money for me. But when you actually have insurance and you're paying people and you have like the expenses of marketing and all of that, there's no way you can sustain this business at $500 per event. And people do this for a multitude of reasons. On one hand, they truly do not believe that they can charge more for these services because everybody in their area is only charging a few $100s, so how could I charge more for that? Another reason they don't think that they can charge more is because they think about what they would be willing to pay for someone to come and bartend one of their events. And they're like, oh God, I wouldn't spend $1,000. And then more than that, they don't understand the true savings that a client has by booking a mobile bar service and DIYing their event versus going to an actual restaurant where people are charged per drink. So when I go out to eat with my family and I'm deciding, okay, I'm going to drink a cocktail tonight and I'm paying, $12 for that cocktail, it's only costing the bar a few dollars to make that cocktail. And there's such a huge markup on alcohol in general that when people come into your world and they're willing to book a bartender and they're able to purchase all of their own alcohol, what's crazy is that you don't believe that you can charge more than $500 when in reality, these people are already saving so much money and they don't necessarily want to skimp on the experience of going to, a traditional bar. So something I just want to caution so many people on around why you can charge more than $500 is that they're being able to keep everything that's left over. They're being able to purchase it all themselves, which means in turn, they're saving a ton of money. So they actually have the budget now to hire you. And there's no reason you should be charging less than $1,000 because even if you are charging that rate, that $1,000 base rate, and they're purchasing all their own alcohol and mixers, etc., they're saving on average 50%, if not more. So it's really, really important to realize you have the ability to charge more. People are willing to pay that even if you aren't. And you have to get out of this mindset that you can't charge more for what you're doing because the industry supports it. Even the people, and this is something that's huge that I've realized when conducting market research all over the country, is that a lot of people actually that are saying they're only charging a few $100s to go and execute an event are just putting that as their face value on their website or their listing. But when you actually inquire with them, they're charging significantly more. What you want to be really cautious about when you get in this industry is that you aren't charging per hour or per bartender per hour because what you are needing to actually sell isn't a bartender. You're trying to actually sell an experience. And the reason you're actually trying to sell an experience versus a bartender is because it attracts different clients. When you are talking to someone and they're having a backyard cookout for their family and they just want someone to come and handle the drinks and bartend, those are not the same type of people as wealthier clients who want things handled. So for instance, if someone wants to hire you and they're a wealthier client, wealthier people buy back their time. You are able to help them buy back their time if you take care of X, Y, and Z. So you tell them exactly what to purchase. You take care of the setup. You take care of the breakdown. People that come into our world that want to hire us don't go and buy alcohol for 100 people every single freaking day. So if you can explain, I'm going to, as the authority, know exactly how much alcohol to purchase, what type of signature drinks you should do. I'm going to tell you exactly when to do your champagne pour because I know when champagne pours work best. When you start acting like that, like the authority in your business, it's a no-brainer that your price is higher than $500 because to them, they're thinking, oh my God, this person's going to help me execute drinks at my entire event. It's not, I'm just hiring a bartender. No. I'm going to make sure your lines aren't long. I'm going to make sure your signature drinks make sense. I'm going to make sure that your budget and when you go to purchase all your alcohol makes sense. I'm going to execute every single aspect of drinks at your event. I'm going to make sure you have water available. And if you don't have water through your caterer, or you're not providing water, that you add that to us so that we can provide water. Like all of those things, when I am talking to a client, makes it so I am worth a way larger value than just $500 or just hiring a bartender with a tip jar. It's so important that you start acting like the authority if you want to actually go past these $500 events. People will continuously stay stuck because of those reasons, because they feel like they can't charge more, because they aren't actually packaging it with an experience and packaging it in a way where they're the authority and they're going to help you execute every aspect of your event. And 3, you truly don't understand the value and savings that people have when they hire you, but they're not having to skimp on experience. So once you nail those things down and you understand and you start executing multiple events and realize, oh my God, like, this is worth a lot of money, the work I'm putting into this. That's another thing. It's like so many people are like, oh yeah, I'm just charging $500. And it's like, but when you go to execute an event, are you only putting $500 worth of work into it? If you are, please keep charging that, I guess. But at the end of the day, I know me, when I go and I execute, a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 event, I'm not putting $500 worth of work into that. I'm hiring people, I'm staffing them, I'm making sure I'm insured, I'm giving you shopping lists, I'm meeting with you, I'm, filling out an intake form. So I go over every aspect of your event and how I can help you best. I also have the knowledge of how events work best, of when you should do your champagne pour, because some people, and this is something I'm always like priding myself on, but I constantly am telling people, if you're gonna do a champagne toast, first of all, I just want you to realize like there's going to be a lot of waste. So if you can constantly be the authority in your business and the authority executing drinks at their event, you are worth so much more money and you're not giving yourself enough credit. So when you want to actually reach, high paying events, you will understand the fundamentals of what goes into it, how to execute it in a way where they love you and appreciate everything you've done for them, and you will start selling at a higher rate.